Release the Kraken!
Welcome back, fellow game designers. In our last video, went ahead and made Leon's legs, and in this one we'll make Leon's arms. And of course, before we do anything, we should really just save our project. So File, come down to Save As. And this is going to be Leon 4. That way, if we have to go back to the torso for some reason, we'll still have it. Okay. Let's drop in a cylinder. Move that into position here. Now Leon, if we go to our front view, you can see he's in an A pose. That's with his arms down to his side. So that's not really ideal for rigging later on, but for modeling it doesn't really matter. But at some point we have to put his arm in a T pose. So just be aware of that. We're going to head and just set it up here. You can see we also have a bit of an angle, so we're going to have to make some guesses about where things go. So position here, we'll check our side view. You can see way back here, the arm is bent like that. So I'm going to mostly ignore my side view in this. We'll work just off of our front. So get this, let's go to our polycylinder, grab our radius, middle mouse, and drag. It's a pretty good size for the arm. Let's get the height. I'll middle mouse and drag that. We'll get a little bit between the shoulder and the wrist there. I think that's good. Now we do need to know how many connecting points we have. So right now, let's go ahead and hide this. We'll hit H. I'll grab the body. And you can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 connecting points here. But when we do our hand, we actually need about 10. So to do that, I'm going to put an extra slice through Leon's torso. So I'll grab my multi-cut tool, hold down the control key, and just cut through the upper section of the arm there. Pretty good. Go into face selection, and I'll turn on symmetry. Select these faces. Check both sides. Yeah, we'll go ahead and just delete those off. So now we have a hole for the arm. We can start modeling the arm. I'll grab the cylinder, hit H. Let's turn off symmetry because I don't need it for this. We'll jump back into my front. I'll grab my polycylinder settings, and let's adjust these subdivisions. We now have 10 connecting points, so 10 subdivisions will work. Now go into my multi-cut tool. Let's put in this elbow. So if I'm eyeballing it, it looks like the elbow goes right about here. So middle mouse and drag. You can hold shift to get you a straight line, and then cut. And then I'm going to go down to about here, just below the elbow, and cut. And I'll go a little bit above the elbow and cut. There we go. Hit Q to get rid of my tool. Let's go into vertex selection. I'll grab the vertices here, move those back to about the wrist, and then I will use scale and middle scale. That looks pretty good. Now if you're looking, you can see that the arm kind of tapers out. So I'm going to go ahead and grab these, and I will middle scale and drag to get that shape. Looks pretty good. I want to be able to take this in, and I want to build out that bicep, so I'll get my multi-cut tool. I'll put a slice in for the bicep, and I'll put a slice in just above my elbow slice so that I can really bulk these out. So this one I can take in a little bit more. And then this one I can push out. We'll give Leon some beefy arms. I'll get multi-cut tool again. I'll do a cut for about where the shoulder is going to end. So the bicep ends about here, and then the shoulder begins. So I'll put another extra cut in here, just so I can taper down that bicep shape. Pop that out a little bit more. Let's take this up some more. Throw in a cut here so I can get the middle of that. Pretty good. And I want one more cut just to ease the transition as I attach the arm, so I'll put that there. That'll give us something else to work with. Okay, good. Now, if you look at your form, it's actually pretty flat here. So we want to adjust it so that this part just under the palm is pretty flat. So I'm going to go to my side view. And let's do that. So I'll grab these, and I'll flatten this off a little bit more this way. Grab these. I can try to flatten that off a little bit here. And then up here, I want to really shape the back of that arm into the elbow. So I'll pull the elbow out quite a bit to really get that elbow shape. I'll get this guy to go with it. And then these guys, that's going to be the tricep there. Pull those back. Kind of just pull all these back here. Widen up Leon's arm. Shoulder, pull these. I think those are probably good. Adjust the front. Let's take a look at it from our perspective view. It's not too bad. Okay, let's go ahead and position this. So I'll go into my object mode, get my rotation tool, hold J to rotate, and I'll snap that till it is, whoops, wrong way. There we go. Let's position this. Check my front view. That's pretty much on the money. I want to be lined up with that shoulder there. And I'll move it a little bit closer. It's pretty good. Alright, I'm going to grab both this and that, make sure we're in object mode. We'll hit the combine tool right here. That's going to make it one object, but we need to start sewing. Before I sew this together, I need to remove the faces on the end of the arm and on the inside of the arm. To do that, let's go ahead and go into face selection. And you can just select these, but I want to select both sides. So I'll show you a bit of a trick. If I go into my view here, I can just select the arm from here over. Okay, and then I can hold down Control, and I can just deselect through the arm. And you can see when I deselect, it leaves whatever other part of the selection alone. So that means that I have that cap here. So back here, those are still selected. And I can do that again, so I can just deselect through here. And look, I'm leaving that alone, everything else is off. And I got that. So I hit delete to make a hole. That should be all the way through. And now I can sew this to the arm. So I'll get my target weld tool. Let's sew this up. So I'll take this. Let's take a look at our position here. That's not too bad. I actually want to move the arm forward, so I'm going to go up to my top view. Grab the vertices of the arm. Move tool. I'll just move them forward to try to center it a little bit. That's pretty good. Now let's sew it together. So I'll get this one. Make sure you click off so you don't have all the vertices. If you have those all selected and you do a merge, you're going to get a mess. Don't do that. Make sure you deselect first, and then you can merge it. So I'm going to go ahead and get this middle one to there. And I'll go around the back of the arm here. This one to there, and just do the next one in line. If you make a mistake, you can always hit Control-Z, and then try again. Look at that. Easy peasy. Now let's go ahead and smooth out this transition. To do that, let's go ahead and add an extra cut here. So multi-cut tool. I'll come over, hold Control, and I'll drop in a cut here. Let's go into object selection. I'll clear the history. Make sure we save. and then come up to sculpting. So in our sculpting tools, we have the option for smoothing, so it's the second one over. So if I hover over, see it's smooth surface, I'll grab that. Come out here. You can adjust your brush size by holding the B key and then left click and dragging. Okay, pick a brush that you like. And then for our tools, if we go up, open that, we have our size and we have our strength. The strength determines how much your brush does per stroke. So if I do this, you can see I can do a lot with the one brush stroke if it's real high. I'm going to go ahead and just undo that. I'm going to drop my strength down to about 5. But you can pick a strength that you like. I like making small changes as I go versus big changes. So start off just a little bit and I'll start smoothing this shoulder. Take my brush down a little bit. Let's go ahead and smooth this in. You can see as I start getting to these points, they start moving toward the arm here. Kind of rounding that off. And then in the middle of the arm here, where we connected it, I'm going to try to smooth that a little bit as well. That way that comes toward the body, and it's not quite a pinch. Looks pretty good. Yeah. I'm going to hit Q to get rid of my tool. Go into face selection. We're going to go ahead and mirror this across. So go into my front view. And I will select half the body. Like that. Just make sure your selection is on half of it. Hit delete. And then we can mirror. So go to object selection. Go up to mesh. Come down to mirror, hit the box. Let's go ahead and do, we'll turn off cut, we'll keep copy, world, and then X. We'll have combined with original, that's good, these are good, hit mirror. And now we have Leon's arms. Awesome. One quick thing I'd like to do with Leon is I will take these up a little bit more so we can ease this transition. So I'm going to go into vertex selection. I'm going to select here, double click the next one to kind of get that loop. Let's go into symmetry, object X. I'm going to move these up. So from the front view here, I'm going to drag select underneath to about under the arm here, like that. I'm going to check out here. Make sure I have all those. And I'll just move this up a bit. And then I'm going to control click to get rid of these. And I'll move this section up a little bit. A little bit better. And then hit Q to get rid of that, and I'll do control click to click these off, and I'll move that up a little bit more. Not bad. And I'll put a cut through here. Get my multi-cut tool, and I'll hit control. Let me turn symmetry off. There we go. And I'll do a cut. Much better. All right, go ahead and save your work. In the next one, we're going to go ahead and do Leon's hand. So stay tuned, and I shall see you next time. Hey guys, thank you for checking out my channel. Misty and I both thank you. If you enjoyed that video you just watched, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Or if you want to support the channel, check me out on Patreon or pick up one of my books, Life and Times of Dinah Marton or The Guardian's Path of Ascension. Speaking of which, I'm converting The Guardians into a graphic novel / comic book series. Here is a sneak peek. My wonderful artist, Patrick, is doing a great job. I'm excited. I want to push this out as soon as possible. So definitely keep your ears and eyes open for that. I'll be making announcements as we get closer, and I'll post some shots of that as we go. And if you want to follow me on social media, you can check me out on Twitter. I guess now it's X. Who does that? It's BruceRF1 at Twitter, or at whatever the new thing for Twitter is. Anyway, hopefully see you there, and I'll see you guys next time.